Iran continues to hold large-scale funeral ceremonies following the death of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, with massive crowds gathering across Tehran and other cities during several days of official mourning. Images circulating from Iranian state media and journalists on the ground show enormous crowds filling the Imam Khomeini Grand Mosalla and surrounding streets. Authorities say people have traveled from across the country to participate in prayers and memorial events honoring the late leader. Professor Mohammad Marandi, who has previously been involved in Iran's diplomatic discussions with Western countries, described the turnout as unprecedented. He said he left home hours before the ceremony but still could not reach the main prayer area because of the sheer number of mourners gathering outside the complex. Helicopter footage and aerial images show streets packed with people dressed in black, carrying Iranian flags, religious banners, and portraits of Ayatollah Khamenei. Throughout the ceremonies, mourners chanted religious slogans, while many also expressed anger over the recent conflict that resulted in the supreme leader's death. The funeral has become a multi-day national event. Reports indicate that thousands of schools and public buildings have been opened to accommodate visitors traveling from different provinces. Officials say ceremonies will continue before the final burial in the city of Mashhad. International journalists covering the events have described the crowds as among the largest public gatherings seen in Iran in recent years. Indian journalist Geeta Mohan, reporting from Tehran, described the funeral as a historic geopolitical moment. She noted that representatives from several Muslim-majority countries traveled to Iran to pay their respects, including senior officials from nations that traditionally maintain close ties with the United States. According to her reporting, the funeral has attracted not only Shia Muslims but also Sunni leaders from across the region, highlighting the broader political and religious significance of the event. As evening approached, videos continued to emerge showing large crowds gathering throughout Tehran, with chants echoing across prayer halls and surrounding neighborhoods. Journalists on the ground emphasized that the scenes were authentic and not generated or staged, documenting the continuing flow of mourners well into the night. The scale of the funeral has sparked international discussion about its political implications. Some analysts argue that the recent conflict has strengthened public unity inside Iran, at least in the short term. They suggest that external military pressure has rallied many citizens around the country's leadership during a period of national mourning. Professor Marandi stated that, in his view, the funeral demonstrated resilience rather than weakness. He argued that millions of people chose to attend despite difficult economic conditions, high temperatures, and the inconvenience of traveling long distances through crowded streets. He also suggested that such public displays of support could strengthen Iran's negotiating position in any future diplomatic talks with Western governments. Meanwhile, attention has also focused on developments in the United States. President Donald Trump marked the July 4th Independence Day celebrations in Washington, D.C., with speeches, public appearances, and a fireworks display commemorating America's 250th anniversary. While supporters praised the celebration, critics questioned attendance figures and compared the event with the massive funeral gatherings taking place simultaneously in Iran. President Trump later commented publicly that he had been surprised by the size of the crowds attending the funeral ceremonies. Social media discussions quickly contrasted the two events, with supporters and critics debating crowd sizes, political messaging, and the broader symbolism of both occasions. The funeral also drew the attendance of senior Iranian political and military leaders. Images released by Iranian media showed high-ranking officials participating in prayers and memorial services, reinforcing the importance of the event within the country's leadership. Observers say the coming weeks will be critical as Iran transitions under its new leadership while managing ongoing diplomatic and security challenges. At the same time, governments across the Middle East and around the world continue monitoring regional developments closely. Energy markets, international diplomacy, and security officials remain focused on how Iran's political transition may affect future negotiations, regional stability, and relations with Western nations. For now, funeral ceremonies continue across Iran, with millions expected to participate before the final burial takes place. As these events unfold, the international community will continue watching both the political transition inside Iran and the broader implications for an already fragile Middle East. You're listening to our National Affairs Bulletin. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more national and international news throughout the day.